Vinegar Hill Magazine was started because in the local press, black people were not getting represented fairly and thoroughly the way that we are as a people. So we started a newsletter to offset that representation.
Vinegar Hill Magazine is important because it allows us, African Americans and Black people, to see ourselves the way that we want to be seen and with a vision of ourselves that we know is true. So for example, it allows us to see ourselves as risky entrepreneurs. It allows us to see ourselves as scholars who are producing research. It allows us to see ourselves as community caretakers, for example, of our neighbors and the people who are in our residential communities, in our workspaces, for example. There are many broad narratives around the United States and around the world that paint Black people differently than that. And Vinegar Hill Magazine gives us a venue and an opportunity, again, to see ourselves how we want to be seen.
As the CEO of Charlottesville Tomorrow, I am so honored to be in partnership with Vinegar Hill Magazine. We work together with, in my humble opinion, the talk radio show on Charlottesville Inclusive Media. It's an amazing collaboration to try to not just build up our own organizations that does news and culture and builds community, but to actually build up an ecosystem here in Central Virginia that is more diverse than it's ever been.
So I'm with, in my humble opinion, radio show. We are the radio partner to Vinegar Hill and the Charlottesville Inclusive Media Project. I want Vinegar Hill Magazine to just keep digging deeper and deeper because there's always new layers, right? Like there's always new truths and just never stop. Be that voice, you know, continue and just keep extending the representation through its magazine, through its different cutting edge forms of media for those who are being affected and also those who are affecting the change.
Vinegar Hill is making a difference in the community by providing a look at us through our lens. And and even though that, you know, we're imperfect in doing that, but we're being perfectly us, and that's who we are. You know, an opportunity to see us doing things, being things, and not just pigeonholed into one particular segment.
One of the things that we do in our partnership with Charlottesville Inclusive Media is called First Person Charlottesville. And it's an amazing project because it draws on so many threads of the depth and importance of real collaboration and equity in media. It draws on trust, not just with each other, but with community members. It draws on equity because we are really trying to bring the economy of news to the people who actually produce the content and pay people for the work. But it also says, it puts a stake in the ground and says we need more people telling our stories and feeling empowered to tell our stories. So having Vinegar Hill's expertise in the community, having, in my humble opinions, amazing style and voice, having Charlottesville Tomorrow's background as news producers, we really bring those three things together to create something that I think is really powerful.
The big picture issues that Vinegar Hill solves is that we provide a lens into the life of the Black community in Charlottesville that is asset-based. A lot of times media looks at people in a way that is deficit-based and finds the problems all the time. And when you look at media, you would think that everything is bad in the Black community. So we occupy the space, as did many other publications in the past, like Ebony and Jet, that really find those things that are really going well and that highlight the greatness of what's going on in the community, and not always looking from a deficit perspective and looking at it from an asset-based perspective.